Is there a negative impact to the internet in that sense, where people can cluster and kind of be self-supporting in their misunderstandings?
Well, of course, but that was true of the print universe as well. And what the internet-based communities have in common with the print-based communities that generated the Enlightenment and the emergence of modern democracy is that even though there are wild views that are clearly wrong expressed, and people have the freedom to do it as they should, the group wisdom, the collective wisdom, filters that out, and people can judge for themselves. And that's not true in broadcast, because broadcast is a one-way medium, and access to put information out there is given to those who have a lot of money. And it's not a two-way conversation. People watching television receive, and they may yell at the TV, but they have no impact. On the internet, that's not the case. Now, one other point. It is true that on the internet, there is this tendency for people to self-organize in groups that share their opinions. And I'm not minimizing the impact of that. However, the culture and the conventions that have sprung up include links to the contrary, to the things that
the facts behind it.
Yes, and even those who are putting out views that I think are ridiculous, they will usually put links to the things they're criticizing. And you do get people crossing the ideological and political boundaries and looking for themselves. And deciding for themselves. And over time, that does create collective learning.
So, social media is good for facts overall?
I think it is.
Or do you think that, that there's a continuing doubt of science?
Well, of course there's doubt. The majority still don't agree with the theory of evolution. And it's long since been abundantly proven. But I do think, yes, it's moving in the right direction. There's no question about that. One of the things that has slowed down this creation of collective wisdom is that the large carbon polluters and ideological allies of theirs that want to diminish the role of government however they can, they have pumped hundreds of millions of dollars every year in this country alone to try to create false doubt. And there are internal documents that have been leaked to the press. You can find them easily on the internet. Years ago, they spelled out exactly what they're doing. And the model that they used for this campaign was the tobacco industry's model.
Thank you for smoking.
For disputing the scientific connection between cigarettes and lung cancer. And they wanted to slow down the congealing of collective wisdom that, oh, this is really a horrible practice and we need to stop it.
So why wasn't it really a big issue? I mean, maybe in the last few days of the election, but in the election it didn't seem that climate change was a major issue at all.
Well, politicians are scared to talk about it because the consensus around the truth of the science is still building. Whereas the minority with lots of money and political power, particularly in some states that could go either way because of the dominance of coal and oil, they were afraid to upset them, and so they will speak in generalities infrequently about climate. And 24 Hours of Reality is specifically designed to connect through social media to large numbers of people and say to them, we need your help. These political leaders and policymakers are under the thumb of the large carbon polluters, and the only thing that can shift the balance is when large numbers of people say, look, this is reality, we've got to deal with it.
So it's almost, social media, it seems like, is less corruptible by financial interests.
Inherently.
Is that the core problem in addressing this issue, is really just the growing role of big financial backers, super PACs, that kind of thing, in winning elections?
Yes, it's not the only factor, but I think for the time being it is the main factor, yes.